3 mistakes or 3 things that I would do differently if I were to start real estate all over again. Number 1 is I would never would have got into the whole fix and flip game. It was the worst mistake because you see, when you first started out, when you don't know anything about constructions, have no experience, no knowledge, like there's much more you have to learn when you go into the fix and flip game, all right? You gotta learn how to deal with contractor. You gotta learn how the stage of the constructions. You gotta connect with private money lender, hard money lender, banker. And also too, there's much more risk involved. I mean, you gotta deal with the city, the permit. After you fix the property up, now you list the property to sell it to a traditional buyer, which means they're getting loan from a bank. And now you got to go through the whole process of inspections. It takes another, 30, 45 to 60 days to actually close on the property. So it takes longer to even get your money back. And there's much more risk involved because you're actually buying the property. And when you rehabbing it, there's some prices that can potentially comes up and really cut into your profit. So when I first started, I knew nothing about constructions and all that. And it takes so much time to learn it. And then most of the time you have to babysit this contractor or general contractor. It's like you could eliminate all of that if you were just to wholesale. So I wouldn't get into the whole fix and flip game because I got myself into a really bad situation. I was doing 3 to 4 flip at the same time, and I was learning the business at the same time. So I got myself in like a really hot mess, right? And I was working like from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day. It was just really a headache. And I'm sharing with you my experience and what I would do differently. Not necessary for everybody, it's just for me. I'm sharing with you my experience, all right? Now, number 2, I would go slower. I was trying to go too fast, too quick. I didn't focus on working on the deal, making sure I keep my eyes on the profit, and then get that first flip done, then move on to another one, get the second one done, then move on to the third one. Basically, I should have been, go slow, take it easy. Once you build up the skills, then freaking go. And also too is I was very unorganized. I was very extremely unorganized. I didn't have a system in place. I didn't have a team in place. All of my marketing, when seller calls or I call seller or when I was driving for dollars, I take all the notes on a notepad. And I have like 20, 30, 40 or 50 of them. There was no follow-up, like there was no structure, no system, nothing. So number 2 mistakes, and I would to do is to get organized before you really launch. Because I was chasing the deal. Once I got the deal under contract, right? I line up my contractor. Now I was like focused on getting another deal, getting another deal, getting another deal. But you guys understand that in this time frame, I was also learning the whole constructions at the same time. So get organized, and also too is make sure your foundation is freaking solid. What I mean is that be organized, get a system in place, get a team in place before you go big. Because I was like in my head, I was trying to build a skyscraper business, but my foundation was only enough for a house. Get your foundation solid before you freaking build a skyscraper. Number 3 is when I first heard about wholesaling, I should have been more open-minded. I should have looked into it more, but I shut it down because I was like, man, why would I want to make the baby money when I can fix and flip and make the big boy money, right? The money for the big boy to play. I was like, well, why make 5 to 10,000 when I buy and fix the property? I make 20, 25,000. Didn't know that there's much more risk, much more work that goes into it, and your profit gets squeezed very, very fast, right? And even though wholesaling, you get a small profit, but imagine if you turn them, because you can turn it quicker. It takes less risk, less capital involved, and less you have to learn. Because all it costs you is the earnest money to lock a property up on a contract, and you can turn it, close it with as quick as 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. And even though you make it small, but imagine if you do 5, 10 of those a month, instead of when you were fixing and flipping, it takes you a couple months to actually recoup your money. And all it costs you money up front is marketing. So that's number 3. I shut it down, and then I went into the whole fix and flip, which is a disaster for me. All right. Now, I also want to add one more thing. Here's another thing that I didn't know that I wish I would have knew. I didn't know that it's okay that you lock a property up on a contract, and then as you are doing your research, if you can't seem to make the number work, move forward to buy the property, or you can't find a buyer for the deal, you can actually back out the deal. You get your earnest money back. You walk away scratch free. There's a contingent that you can put in the contract. I did not know know that. And also too is, to me, I thought that to get a good discount on a deal, you got to be able to tell the seller, hey, I can close quickly, like 7 to 10 days. That was kind of my pitch. I can close this thing in 7 to 10 days. When I tried to lock a property up on a contract, I was so worried that I can't find a buyer within the 7 to 10 days. So I was basically didn't pull the trigger quick enough to lock it up on a contract. I lost on a couple deals, and it was really good deals. It was like a 25 to 30K deal. I didn't know that, hey, you can lock it up on a contract, and then you go ahead and you pitch it to your buyer, or you do the research, and if it doesn't work, you can go back, renegotiate with the seller, and see how you can make it work. If it doesn't work, you can cancel the deal, walk away, scratch free. Did not know that either. All right, you guys. So anyways, I hope that this will help you out, give you some value of what you need to do and what you need to stay away from. So anyways, until next time, ciao.